Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of the React Foundation series. In this episode right here, we're going to be starting to fill out the contact show page over here. So basically in the previous episode, we discussed that we're going to have a 2-column setup. So on one side, we're going to have the invoices. We're going to be able to create invoices. And on the other side, on the left-hand side, we're going to be able to create contacts. So the kind of workflow I want to have is like in each organization, we have a contact point. So or a contact person. So we need to send the invoice to someone. So we need to be able to add who that someone is. So basically, we're going to divide into 2 columns. And I think that should be enough in terms of the general layout. There is something that bothers me. So if I switch from page to page, you'll see this blinking over here. And that's because things are happening client side. It's happening really quickly. So it's just flashing in and out. So I want to fix that real quick here. So I'm going to head over into this component over here. This is the page actionable component. And what I want to do here is this div here is responsible for the title bar, the top bar, the action bar, if you will. And so what I want to do here is I want to add an animated class, fade in. And basically what that'll do is it'll soften everything up. It'll make everything look a little bit more polished, look a little bit nicer. So that fixes the popping in and out. And as for the collection of items over here, we'll fix that. I'll show you guys how to do the animation for that later. But for now, I think this will work just fine. So what I want to do here is I want to start by setting up the 2 columns layout. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to head over into the show page over here. And what I really want to do is use the pure G. So if I see here, I already have pure G at the top layer over here. So what I really want to do in this case is inside, I want to, so actually this is the action bar. So what I want to do is I want to have a pure G for the children over here. So for this component here, I want to have a div class name, pure G. So that's going to take care of that. And then in here, I'm going to have a div class name, pure u12. So 1-2 is 1 of 2. So here I'm going to put first column. And I'm going to remove this show text over here. And I'm going to have another column. So div class name, pure u12. Close out the div. And here I'm going to have second column. There you go. So now we have the 2 columns that I was talking about. So I want these 2 columns to have a distinct color. So I want them to have like their own color. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean this up a little bit over here. And I want to add a style to them. So I'm going to create a new file here called show.sass. So everything I'm doing here is all I've shown you guys before. So what I want to do is I want to use the class names, import class names, or I'm just going to use C for short, from class names like that. And then basically here, I can do C pure u12 like that. And then here I'm going to be able to use a dynamic class. So it's going to be import styles dot invoice, and actually just styles from show.sass. And basically I'm going to use a styles dot right column. I can call it, its name because we are inside the component invoices, if you will. And that will work just fine. So we want to do the same thing here, C. And then we got to have the pure U and all that stuff. So styles.contacts. All right, cool. So now we've named these columns. We can style them up now. All right, yeah. So I'm going to go over here and basically do a dot invoices. And here I'm going to do a background white. Yeah. And dot contacts background. So I'm going to take a look at my colors. So styles colors over here and see which one we can use. we can use a light gray, base light gray for one of the columns, and one column can be mid gray or even can be just white. So let's see how that looks, and then we'll go from there. So I'm going to first import the colors. So we can use this flat UI. No, actually, I don't want to use a flat UI color. I want to use styles color. So I'm going to copy that and paste that right on top of the styles file, the SAS file. And so now I can have access to it. So I can do base light gray, and here it can be white. So let's see how that looks. Okay, so we have this here. It's light gray now. So this side here, the invoice is a light gray. So let's put that in the correct sequence like that. So I also want this box to have a height of calc. So I'm going to show you guys something cool over here. So I'm going to go into MDN CSS calc. And what this is ability for us to add calculations in CSS, like expressions. So we can do add, multiply, or whatever. So let's try 100% first. Let's see how that works. All right, that didn't work. So let me try a CSS VW. All right, so there is this special unit that we can use, VH. Yeah, so VH is the 1% of the height of the initial containing block. So we could do something like VH. Let's see how we use that. So let's try 100 VH, for example. There we go. So look at that. So now it's taken up 100% of whatever is left of the viewport, or actually 100% of the viewport. So now I can have a two distinct column regardless of the height. It's going to take up the viewport height, which is very cool. We can do the same thing here. So height equals 100 VH. And we can combine the VH with the calc I was going to show earlier. But for now, I think this works just fine. So now what we can start doing is we can start adding the UI bits that's going to go inside these columns. So over here, if you go to contacts over here, I have this thing over here, this bar here of form that I really want to be inside of this org, this first column. And basically I want it to kind of have like the quick add bar where I can add contacts very quickly. And so let's start with doing that. So I'm going to head over here. And then basically I'm going to create the first part here, which is the actual, the creation, the form. So div. And I want to move that form in. So I'm going to go into the contacts index over here. Contacts collection here. And we have this form, which we want to move out from here, really, and add it over into that place. So I'm going to cut that over there, and I'm going to head over into my show over here. I'm going to paste my form into here. All right, so I don't have an on submit yet, so I think I'm just going to remove the on submit for now. Let's just see how that whole thing looks. Yeah, it's a good start, but I think we can do a little bit better. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add I have this div over here. So what I really want to do is I'm going to add a class name and then a C pure U1 and styles.add contact. All right, so now we're going to add one more class to our style file over here. And it's going to be under here. So I guess we could add contact. And let's see, what we can do is add padding equals of 10 pixels. Let's see. Whoops. All right, so let's see what's up here. Add contact. So that looks good. Pure U1. Oh, I need a comma there. All right, so we're back. So we got a little bit of padding. So that looks okay, I guess. We need to clean this up a little bit. We need to make it stand out a little bit more. So we can even do something like give it a color. So let's go into here and do a form background. So now we can use a base light gray. Not exactly what I was looking for. Maybe we need to add another div. Div and then form. We need to add a padding inside of that. And here, we can add that inside div that takes care of the padding for us. Yeah, I mean, as long as it's not going beyond its border, I guess it's okay. So what I really want to do is I want to have this bar really stand out. And what that means is basically we need to kind of make it pop. So I guess we need to add a bit of a padding on the outside div as well. So padding, 10 pixels. But the problem is if we add, so this looks good, but if we add padding outside, you see how the blue, the purple over here is going beyond, it's going cross border. We don't want that. We don't want this, thing to go cross border. So what I want to do is, we're almost there in terms of the styling and everything for this column over here. What I want to do is I'm going to pause this here because this is taking a little bit long, and we're going to continue this in the next episode. So yeah, with that, I want to wrap this episode up. So if you're a member and you're watching this video, thank you for becoming a member. And if you find us, this happens to be one of those timed exclusive episode, and you see our video and you're not a member, we have other React videos and Rails API video that is a companion for this React Foundation series. So check that out on our site. We have a lot of new interesting updates coming for you if you're a web developer, if you're a Rails developer, a React or JavaScript developer. We have a ton of content for you on our site, so check that out. So with that, I want to wrap this episode up. I will see you guys in the next episode.